Olivier Blanchard, you're releasing your new World Economic Outlook update, but you're starting off with a downgrade of the global growth outlook. What's behind that?
Yes, it is a downgrade from 3.7% to 3.4% for 2014. What's behind that is, for the most part, what happened in the US in the first quarter, which was a large negative growth, and that's affecting the numbers for the year. Now, if you start from today on, we basically haven't changed our mind, our forecast very much. For 2015, we haven't changed the forecast. So it's really a story of something which just happened and is behind us.
So in advanced economies where we've seen different levels of growth depending on the stage of the economy's recovery, what's your advice for them?
So the general advice is that the recovery is still not very strong, and so for the moment it really needs to be nurtured. Beyond this, you have to distinguish between different countries. So if you look at the US, the UK, the recovery is fairly strong, so it's time to start planning for normalization of monetary policy, not to implement it yet, but to be ready for it. If you look at the Eurozone or Japan, the recovery is weaker, and there the priority is still very much to use monetary policy as much as possible.
So we've seen a lot of gains in a number of financial markets, and does that raise any concerns for you in terms of potential bubbles that may be arising?
So we're watching the financial markets like hawks, because we know that when interest rates are low, there's a desire to take more risk to get more return. At this stage, we're not very worried. We look around, we see pockets, markets in which the yields are a bit low, the prices are a bit high, but it looks like pockets, nothing that should be of major concern from a macroeconomic viewpoint. But we're surely watching. If things got worse, we saw too much risk-taking, then the first line of defense is really macroprudential tools. Tools to slow down the housing market, for example. Only if these do not work, then will it be time to actually be thinking about using the interest rate. But we're not there yet.
This low interest rate environment, what kind of challenges does it present for emerging market economies?
It's not so much the low interest rate, it's the normalization, which is the issue, right? And at this stage, we all know that at some stage there'll be normalization. And this realization has led to bumps in financial markets in the last 2 years. I think now markets understand more or less what the plan is, what central banks intend to do. So I don't think we'll see major financial chaos or anything like this in the future. There are going to be bumps. Sometimes markets are going to be surprised one way. Sometimes are going to be surprised the other way. There are going to be movements in exchange rates. Capital flows are going to change direction. Countries have to be ready for that.
So you're releasing the World Economic Outlook update in Mexico City. What's your outlook for Latin America?
Latin America is actually a region where we have revised our forecast down by quite a bit. So we now have 2% for 2014. We have 2.6% for 2015. What is it due to? It depends on the country. So for Mexico, two factors. The first one is the effect of the United States. And the United States growth was dismal in the first quarter. This affects Mexico, which has very tight links in trade with the US. And also internal factors. Domestic demand was a bit weak. Brazil is more internal demand, weak investment, weak consumption. And we think that this weakness in Brazil is going to last not only this year, but also next year. The more general point is that Latin America still needs to do a number of reforms, structural reforms. The good news is that they're actually doing it, and in particular in the case of Mexico, there is now an ambitious program of structural reforms, and that should help increase growth in the future. So we're very happy with that development.
Olivier Blanchard, thank you.
Thank you.